Today I'm going to teach you how you can lose your next 20 pounds, reveal the muscle definition that you want to, all without hitting plateaus and burning out. I've done it in the last 10 weeks, and I want to give you the exact tools that not only I use, but our clients use to do the same. And yes, this will work for you, but I will not promise you everything else that you see on social media about losing fat. Just eat less and move more. Just get more steps. Just eat in a calorie deficit. If it were that easy, you would not be here watching this video. The very first step to losing 20 pounds is laying the foundation for the fat loss. If you want results that not just last, but results that feel easy and come rapidly, you must build the habits to naturally facilitate that. Teaching somebody to lose fat by simply telling them to eat in a calorie deficit is like teaching somebody how to play basketball by telling them to put the ball in the hoop. You have to think about the progress you want to see on the outside and in the mirror as a beautiful, tall, elegant skyscraper. If you begin to start building it up without building below the surface and up to the surface first, it will only stand for so long before it comes crashing down. So I would argue this to be the most important aspect of losing fat rapidly and keeping it off. Depending on where you're at, building the foundation could take anywhere from about 2 to 4 months. Now, if you're still watching this video at this point, congrats on being someone who actually cares about creating change for a lifetime, not just as fast as they can. The first step to building a foundation is to eat a consistent amount of calories. If you want help finding your specific calories, you can watch this video right here. So whether that amount of calories be 1,800 or 2,400, you want to eat an amount of calories that satiates you and maintains your body weight, which leads to the second step. In order to accomplish this, you must track your calories using an app like MyFitnessPal and weighing yourself at least 4 to 7 times a week to get a weekly average of those weigh-ins. The truth is, what does not get measured does not get improved. And if that feels stressful, don't expect it to get any easier in the diet. Plus, the tools that you get and the skills that you learn from tracking macros will only benefit you for the rest of your life. Anything worth having and acquiring is a little bit stressful at first. Promise you, you can get through. Third thing is, with the food that you're consuming, you want to eat a nutritious diet, which means a diet that's high in protein, at least 0.7 to 1.2 times your body weight in ounces. So if you're 190 pounds in body weight, that's roughly 180 to 200 grams in protein, and you want to fill out the rest of your calories in carbs or fats. No, you don't need to eat a very specific amount of carbs or specific amount of fats, but I would recommend to consume at least 0.3 times your body weight in grams of fat. The truth about a nutritious diet is that it does not only include healthy fat sources, complex carbohydrates, whole grains and vegetables, and lean protein sources. A nutritious diet also sprinkles in the fun foods that you love to eat, because you do not want your eating to be so rigid that it becomes unsustainable. Learning how to eat your favorite foods, fit them into your calorie goal, and not put them on a pedestal will help you build and cultivate a healthy relationship with food. The last step with building a foundation is to, of course, pair it with a good training plan, one that fits your lifestyle and your schedule's needs. You're going to want to choose a split based on the amount of days you can go and sustain and adhere to. If you want a free training program to download, just hit the link in the description to grab your own. The goal is fat loss, and to achieve muscle definition, you have to give your muscle a very good reason to stay, which means training with good quality technique and relatively close to failure to get the most out of your workout. You don't want your workouts to take hours upon hours to complete. You want them to be as effective as possible, and the way you do that is through A, good structure, and B, good quality technique. And again, we got the structure piece taken care of. First link in the description. Now that the foundation has been built, here's the fun stuff. Let's create rapid fat loss, meaning fat loss that just melts right off without feeling restricted. The truth is, 20 pounds to lose doesn't have to take 6 to 8+ months if you follow these core principles I'm about to teach you. The first of which beginning with a 300 to 500 calorie deficit from your foundation calories. You can do this with both food, cardio, or both. I'd recommend just taking away food first rather than doing cardio and food together. You might get to a point a couple weeks into the diet where you don't want to decrease your calories, but you do want to increase your deficit. That's when you can use cardio as a tool. So keep it in your back pocket if you can. The second piece is you want to aim to lose about 1% of your body weight weekly. No, that does not mean exactly 1% a week. It does mean within that range and not too far over that. Any more than 1% can put you at a higher risk of gaining your weight back afterwards, because any more than 1% can be a little bit too steep, resulting in crashing, burning, and putting your weight back on. I've seen it happen far too many times, which is why 1% is a good target. The third step, when you hit a plateau, because you will, rather than just slash calories right away or increase your cardio a whole bunch, look at the consistency first. Look at how well you are adhering to everything. If you're doing super well with your diet Monday through Friday, but on the weekends you're not tracking, you're being a little bit more loose with it, you're not accounting for that drink that you had, that can end up throwing your calorie balance off at the end of the week, because it's not just about hitting your deficit every day, it's about doing so over the course of the week. So you have to take a look at the average amount of calories consumed throughout the week in order to see if you are staying in the deficit or not. I promise in most cases, just getting a little bit more consistent with everything will get you right back on track. If you are adhering super well and you're a little confused as to why things aren't budging, that's okay. We can look a layer deeper, meaning you can take a look at food quality. If you're not eating very nutritious food or well-balanced diet, there could be a chance that you're not consuming that much dietary fiber. In the event that that's the case, you're probably not using the bathroom as consistently as you would like to, which can also lead to retaining water. On top of that, let's say that you are not drinking a whole lot of water. That's only going to make your digestion worse. That's only going to bring stress up. Potentially, that's even going to throw off sleep. Potentially, that's going to want to make you consume more caffeine. And the next thing you know, you're enduring the stress of a diet, adding more stress because of a poor quality diet, adding more stress because you're not sleeping well, and putting the cherry on top with relying on caffeine as your lifeline for energy. So yes, we can say that a deficit is as easy as calories in versus calories out. And I'd recommend you to start drinking a consistent amount of water per day, at least half your body weight in ounces. Recommend eating at least 10 to 14 grams of fiber per 1,000 consumed. I would also recommend getting at least 6 to 9 hours of sleep a night. And if you can be consistent with those habits and the way that you are treating your body, the likelihood is you'll probably see more consistent fat loss. Now, after all of that is cleaned up, fourth step, when you hit a plateau for let's say about 2 to 3 weeks, you can decrease your calories by another 10%. If you are sticking to the plan well, rarely do you need more than 2 to 3 adjustments down in order to lose 20 pounds. And last but not least, step 5, please remember that just because you are in a calorie deficit does not mean that you cannot have fun with your eating. If you push all the foods that you love to consume all the way off to the side, that will create contrast between your diet and the lifestyle that you want to live. If the 2 and 2 do not mesh together and integrate together, you're only asking yourself to go heavy on the eating right after the diet and put on the 20 pounds that you just lost. So I'd very much advise you to still go on dates, still spend time with friends, still go eat the foods that you want to eat, all while just fitting them into your calorie deficit and into your calorie goal. Losing the 20 pounds that I did, this was the most that I actually ate out through a diet. And I didn't have to do anything crazy to accomplish that. If I knew I was going out to eat later in the day, I still ate the same breakfast. I still ate the same lunch. I didn't try to change a thing. I didn't try to fast. I didn't try to eat. I didn't try to save all of my carbs and all my fats to the side just so I could consume a meal. I just went into that meal and mindfully fit it within my calories. When you stop placing foods on a pedestal, when you stop saying that cannot happen, you only need to have these foods, they don't become as big of a deal. And when they aren't a big deal, then you don't feel a need to overeat. You don't feel a need to order everything on the menu. You don't feel a need to get the extra large pizza when you can get a medium or a small and satisfy a craving. All in all, if you're enjoying your diet and if you're enjoying the progress that you're making, in most cases, you have to ask yourself a simple question. Is it worth it to eat this food, or would I just rather have my normal food? Being okay with saying yes to it or no to it. By following this process, not only will you rapidly lose the fat, but you will put yourself in a position and have the opportunity to solidify those results and maintain them for life. Mainly because A, you didn't do it too fast, B, you cultivated a healthy relationship with food throughout it, and C, you set yourself up to create a good after plan. Any good diet has a good after plan. If you'd like me to cover exactly how to come out of a diet, that way you can bulletproof your metabolism, build muscle while staying lean, and get yourself to a place to where you're eating more food than you ever have, looking leaner than you ever have, just drop a like on this video and I'll get to work on it.